hypertension for the halal and haram.
For the definition of halal hazard point is defined as a systematic preventive approach to halal and food safety from biological, chemical and physical hazard in production process that can cause the finished product to be unsafe. Secondly is halal control point. Halal control point is a step of procedure in halal food manufacturing at which control can be applied, and as a result, halal food cross-contamination can be prevented or eliminated. And lastly is halal critical limit. For halal critical limit is a maximum or minimum value to which a biological, chemical or physical hazard must be controlled to at a critical point to reduce it to an acceptable level of occurrence of food safety hazard. So, menu for hypertension patient is we do it for lunch with fruit salad, white rice with lemon roasted chicken, mixed vegetables and pomegranate juice, and bread pudding with custard sauce. For lemon roasted chicken, for the chicken we have a halal control point 1, where the source of material, the slaughtering process, animals feed and separated with non-halal material during transportation. For the chicken, we have to make sure that the slaughtering process must be follow the Sharia law to make sure that the chicken is halal for Muslims consumption. For cutting, we have control point 1, where the physical hazard can be occur. The nail, hair, accessory and knife and cutting board. Nail must be short during the cooking process. The hair must be covered to prevent the hair to enter the food. The accessory must be removed, and the knife and cutting board must not use with the same ingredient. For washing, you have critical limit 1. We have to make sure that the water must be come from clean water, and for marinating, we have HCP2. For the marinating ingredient, we have to make sure that the source of the raw material used for marinating is from halal material. And the critical control 1, we have to control the temperature, the time control, and the biological hazard. For roasting, we have control point 2 and critical limit 2. For control point 2, we have biological hazard and physical hazard. And critical limit 2, we have cooking temperature and cooking time. For cooking temperature, we have 180 degrees C to remove all the biological hazard, which is the Salmonella species. We have to cook at the right temperature to remove all the bacteria. And for the physical hazard, we have to make sure that the coating for roasting pan is safe for the chicken. And lastly is the serve. The plate used for serve the chicken must be came from halal ingredient and not contact with non-halal ingredient. White rice, we have a halal control point 1, where the source of the rice and the fertilizer used. So for the rice, we have to make sure that the rice came from the trusted supplier, and the supplier must use the safe fertilizer to the rice. So we can make sure that the rice is not harmful for human consumption. And also we have a critical control 1 for the rice, which is the physical hazard. We have to remove all the stone from the rice, and we have to wash the rice properly to remove all the chemical hazard. And for washing, we have a critical limit 1, where we have to use the clean water. For the cooking, we have to use the right cooking temperature to remove all the bacteria from the rice, and biological hazard, which is the chemical biological hazard is the bacteria. So we have to use the right cooking temperature to remove all the biological hazard. And lastly is the serve. We have to serve the rice using the plate that came from halal ingredient, and the rice must not in contact with non-halal ingredient.
Okay, for mixed vegetables, for fresh vegetable, it has halal control point 1, which is source of the raw material, fertilizer use, pesticide and herbicide use. For halal control point 1, for control measures, source of the raw material and fertilizer use must be from halal ingredients. And for pesticides and herbicide, we must wash it properly. For critical limit 1, it has water and washing with tap water. So for control measures, the water must come from clean source. So cutting, it has control point 1, which is physical hazard, nails, hair accessories, knives and cutting boards. nails must be short, and for the hair must be covered. And all of the accessories must be removed. For knife and cutting board, it must not use for cutting the same ingredients. Okay. For the frying, it has halal control point 2, which is source of oil and ingredient for oyster sauce. So the control measures for oil, it must not contaminate with used oil with the new oil. And also for critical control point 1 for frying, cooking temperature, cooking time, physical hazard and biological hazard. For cooking temperature, we must use the right temperature to prevent microorganisms. For fruit salad, the first step, which is fresh fruits, it has halal control point 1 and also critical control point 1. So for the halal control point 1, source of the raw material, fertilizer use and pesticide and herbicides use. So for the source and the fertilizer use must be from halal ingredients. For pesticide and herbicide, we must clean it properly. For critical control point 1, physical hazard, which is foreign material and pesticide residues. It's same, foreign material and pesticide residues must be washed properly. The second step is washing, which is it has critical limit 1. Biological hazard and washing with tap water. Control point 1, which is physical hazard, nails, accessory and hair, and also knife and cutting board. The nails must be cut short, hair must be covered, and accessory must be removed. For knife and cutting board, it must not use to cut any other ingredient. The fourth step is blanching, and fifth step, which is grain, it has critical limit 2, which is biological hazards, microorganism. And for mixed with ingredients, it has halal control point 2, which is ingredient for yogurts, gelatin, and temperature storage for yogurt. So temperature storage for yogurt must be in right temperature to prevent the growth of microorganisms. And for the serve is halal control point 3, which is bowl does not use to serve non-halal.
We have bread pudding with custard sauce. In the first step, we have bread. Bread has HCP1, which is the ingredient used must be halal, and the biological hazard is fungi. So we must make sure that the bread is not expired, and if there is a presence of fungi, we must remove it. The next step is cutting. Cutting have HCP1, which is physical hazard such as nails, hair, accessory, and scissors. For nails, hair, accessories, nails must be short, and the hair must be covered. For the accessory, we must remove the accessory before we cooking. And for the scissor, we must make sure that we not use the same scissor for cutting other ingredients. For mixing, we have HCP2, which is the ingredient used must be halal. The ingredient used to make fresh milk is sugar, butter, and so on must be come from halal source. And the next step is baking. Baking have HCP4, which is the pan greasing must be halal. The pan greasing used here, for example, oil. So the oil must be from halal ingredients. And also we have critical limit 2, which is the cooking temperature must be 200 degrees with the time is 45 minutes. And the next step is serve. We have HCP3, which is the ingredient used must be halal, and also HCP5. The dessert plate does not use to serve non-halal food, and also the material for making dessert plate are from halal sauce. Okay, next we have pomegranate juice. In the first step, we have fresh fruit. Fresh fruit have HCP1, which is the source of the raw material, fertilizer use, and pesticide and herbicide use. The source of the raw material, which is the pomegranate, must be halal. And if there is a presence of fertilizer, pesticide, and herbicide at the pomegranate juice, we must remove it and wash it with the clean water. And also in the fresh fruit, we have CCP1, which is physical hazard and also biological hazard. Physical hazards such as foreign materials such as soil, stones, land debris, and also pesticide residues. So all these hazards we must remove it first and wash it thoroughly with clean water. For biological hazards such as pathogens, we also must wash it first before continue with the other step. And the second step is washing. Washing have critical limit one, which is biological hazard, which is microorganism in water, and also in order to control this measure, we must wash it with tap water minimum for 2 times. And the next step is peeling and cutting. Peeling and cutting have CP1, which is physical hazard. Physical hazard here, for example, nails, hair, accessories, knife, and cutting board. For nails, we must make sure that the nails is short and the hair is covered. For the accessory, we must remove it first before preparing the food. And for knife and cutting board, we must make sure that we are not using the same knife and cutting board to cut other ingredients. For the next step is blend. Blend we have CCP1, which is physical hazard. Physical hazards such as metal fragments, and also biological hazard we have microorganisms in water. For metal fragment, we must make sure to wash the blender thoroughly before we blend the ingredients. And for biological hazard, we have microorganisms in water, so make sure that the water used to blend the ingredient is from the clean source. And the next step we have strain. Strain have critical limit 2, which is biological hazards such as microorganisms in water. So we must make sure that the water source is from clean source. And lastly we have serve. Serve have HCP2, which is glass does not use to serve non-halal drinks. And also we must make sure the material for making the glass are from halal.
Thank you for your attention.